So let's look ahead. Let's talk about the markets in 2 minutes and look ahead to some of the things that we're waiting for on the data front. PCE, not today's PCE, but tomorrow's PCE. That's going to be crucial for markets.
Yeah, tomorrow's PCE is absolutely the big one. But PCE, it's always confusing because you have these two data prints that come out one day after the other. And I guess it's very easy to kind of forget which one's important, especially if you don't follow these things very closely. The Thursday one is the less important one. And it's the one we kind of actually already have most of the inputs, technically the data. And in fact, we know it should be a pretty strong print relative to the few forecasts that are there on Bloomberg. But I can see a little bit of a shock when we see that headline number today. And then tomorrow, the harder one to predict, it seems to be that the whisper number is that there has been enough in the recent data to suggest the disinflationary narrative might be reasserted by tomorrow's print. So today, a little bit of a jerk higher in yields. Tomorrow, we get excited on bonds again.
OK, and do we get excited about the yen? We went to 160.87, I'm reliably informed, by the Bloomberg terminal, and some people get excited.
Everyone is very excited by the yen. Everyone's talking about intervention like non-stop. I think, you know, there was a question about whether 160, because where they interviewed before, was going to be a set level. It would be unusual for them to define a level because the Bank of Japan and MOF have been very, very clear it's about pace of depreciation of the yen. So it would have been very unusual, but until we broke above 160 in dollar yen, we couldn't be certain that they weren't going to kind of worry about that level. Now that they've not held that line, it is clearly about pace depreciation. And essentially, the 10-yen move, which they've outlined themselves, would suggest that intervention in the next couple of days would need to be by 164 level. And by the time we get into next week, it's higher again. So I don't think intervention is anytime soon. And until we get intervention, or until the Bank of Japan starts a sustained hiking cycle, the yen should be much weaker. OK, and we are looking ahead to a debate in the United States later on today. And I know that, you know, when is too early and when is too late for election positioning is something that you're thinking about at the moment. Yeah, I think obviously some of the headlines today will kind of see some reaction. And I talked earlier in the week about our colleagues on this piece saying that, you know, the skew is actually for dollar to weaken after these debates because sometimes some of the headline is Trump doesn't do as well as the priced expectations. But I think the real action for the election is still a couple of months away, fortunately.